Hi, this is Ambika, Assistant Professor, Department of AIML. Today we are going to discuss about architectural design, decomposition and patterns. So what do you mean by software architecture? It refers to the high-level structure of a software system. So the major system components are the subsystems, and their responsibilities are interaction between the components and about the deployment structure and design decisions which affects the quality attributes. So it acts as a blueprint for both the development and evolution of the system. Architecture design, it mainly aims for organizing the system components logically to reduce the system complexity, to achieve the quality attributes, to enable the parallel development, and also to support the system maintenance and evolution. Types of the architecture, layered architecture. So here the system is divided into the layers where each layer they provide the services to the layer above it. So the typical layers here are presentation layer, application or business logical layer, data access layer, and database layer. The characteristics of this type of architecture is each layer they only communicate with the adjacent layers, and there is no clear separation of the concerns, and it is easier for debugging and testing. Next is the layered architecture. So the advantage of this one is maintainability, replaceability of the layers, and also the reusability. The disadvantages are the performance overhead due to the multiple layers and also the rigid structure if it is not designed properly. Example is online banking system. Next one is client server architecture. So here the system is divided into clients, that is requesters, and servers. It's nothing but the service providers. So the types of the client server architecture are two-tier architecture, three-tier architecture, and n-tier architecture. The main features of this client server architecture are centralized data management, resource sharing, and also network based communication. So advantages means there is a security control at server, and also it is easy for maintaining on the server side logic. Disadvantages, here the server overload will be causing the risk, and also it will be dependent on the network. Next one is service-oriented architecture, SOA. So here the system is composed of loosely coupled services which communicate with the standard protocols like HTTP, REST, and SOAP. So the characteristics are these services, they are reusable, they are platform independent, and it is also interoperable across the systems. So the main benefits are it will be flexible, scalable, and also it integrates with the external systems. Next, the microservices architecture. Here the system is divided into small independent deployable services. So the main thing is here is it is independent deployment and will be following the decentralized data management. So the advantage of this architecture is it is highly scalable. We can easily isolate the faults, and also continuous deployment support will be there. If you consider the challenges, it will be monitoring will be complex, and distributed transaction management will be there. Next is architecture decomposition. So decomposition is nothing but breaking down a complex system into smaller subsystems. So mainly it reduces the cognitive load, and also it improves the system clarity. So the main goal for decomposition is it manages the complexity, it enables the parallel team development, it improves the modularity, it also promotes the reuse. Next one is types of decomposition, functional decomposition. Here the system is divided according to the major functions. So for example, if you consider the e-commerce system, so they are divided into product management, for order processing, for payment handling, and also the inventory management. Here, if you consider about the limitation, the functions, they may share the data very heavily. There is nothing but a tight coupling. Next one is object-oriented decomposition. Here the system is divided into interacting objects. So mainly it follows principles like encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Example, we can consider the library system. Next one is component-based decomposition. Here the system is divided into independent reusable components. Each component, they will be having a well-defined interface. They can be replaced, and it is also independently deployable. Example, like reporting component, authentication component. Next is distributed decomposition. Here the system components will be distributed across the multiple machines. For example, like backend server, database server, cache server, like that. So they mainly focus on the availability, load balancing, and scalability. Next is layered pattern. So here the organization system will be organized into the hierarchical layers, and each layer will be having their responsibilities, and they interact only with the adjacent layers. Repository pattern. Here, all the shared data will be stored in the central repository. It is mainly used in the compiler design integrated development environment. So the advantage is like the data will be consistent, and also it supports a centralized management. If you consider the disadvantage, there will be a single point of failure. Next one is microkernel pattern. Here the core thing of this pattern will be it will be handling the minimal functionality. It will be used in operating systems and product line system. Next is pipe and filter pattern. Here the data will be flowing through the sequence of processing steps. In each filter, the data will be processed and it will be output of the data will be passed through the next filter. Example, if you consider the compiler. The advantage of this one is reusability and parallel processing. Next is client server pattern. Here the server it provides the services and also client will request the services. So mainly used in web application and database systems. The advantages are the reduces the system complexity, it supports the system evolution, it improves the team coordination, it enhances the risk management and also the quality control. The limitations are here the wrong architecture will mainly be costly for changing and also overuse of these patterns they may increase the complexity. Thank you.